We are glad that you made it here, in this crazy weather outside.
For me, my behavior, my attitude towards the life is I want to understand, learn, get into the skin of it.
That how we went from becoming a dishwasher to now becoming a franchise manager and of course an entrepreneur as well. So
Yeah, no. So she was. I saw her, and I was like so happy to see the same face. So my anxiety is gone.
Gone.
And I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And she was like,
basically it's trusted by a group of people in a market which has already been established.
But same time, you need to understand a lot of franchisee. They think that buying franchisee that doesn't mean the success. That
Correct.
you open a Dunkin' Donuts, you're gonna run. No, the business is challenged and always been challenged. And my performance always, I have seen where I get challenged.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of Ambitalk with me. I'm your host Suraj Mehta. Today in this episode we're going to be talking about how to become a businessman, how to become an entrepreneur. Every individual in this world has a dream of opening their own business. But do you have an idea of how to select the right business or which industry should you pick to open your business? So today with us, we have a person who guides everybody in the world to understand how business works and how you can take your franchising industry and your franchising life in an entrepreneurship forward. Today we have with us an amazing person, the franchise manager, Mr. Pankaj Kumar. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you very much, Suraj, for having me here. It's a lot of kind words about me. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much, Pankaj Bhai. We are glad that you made it here, in this crazy weather outside. And, we are happy to have you here and get your knowledge to the world. Of course, I know about you. I know what you do, as a franchise manager and also as an entrepreneur. But if you, just for our audience, if you could just give a brief of what your life is about, who you are, what you've done in your past, so that our audience can also, relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me rewind, go back. In my early college days, I remember we all go through the similar situations when you complete your 10th and 11th with your family and society pressure that, okay, hey, you need to choose, you need to become a doctor, you need to become engineer. We didn't know third one.
Correct.
We need only two.
Two,
You
right?
don't have a choice.
Yeah.
So I've been sent to Bangalore, wherever in South you have engineering colleges or medical college. For me, my behavior, my attitude towards the life is I want to understand, learn, get into the skin of it. So I went to IIT Delhi, Oscars. I used to stay there,
Okay.
7 days with the kids who is studying, who is becoming an engineer. And I see that these guys are in the room, dark room, for 7 days. They have not seen the sun, constantly studying. Food comes at the door, and they're going to take the food in, eat it, leave it outside, and they are busy
Busy studying.
studying.
Right.
And I was like, gosh, I don't want that life, right? So I want to enjoy my life.
Right.
I went back to my parents and I said, look, I don't think I'm ready for engineering, but the pressure was there. Then I thought, okay, maybe, after 5-6 years of IIT, you might have a better life.
Yep.
So I choose to stay with engineers, pass out from IIT, right? I went to their house and I stayed there for a couple of days.
Right.
And I used to be saddle. So in the morning, they get up, get ready quick, go to office.
Right.
In the evening, when they come back by 7 o'clock, entire day is busy. You back home, took bath, watch TV, eat, go to sleep.
Go to sleep,
I'm like,
study
gosh,
again.
Study again. And they have to upgrade and study
Right.
in life. And I was like, no, I can't.
You can't do
this.
that.
So, and I was constantly looking for it, that what I want to do. And so I met a journalist who used to work for Jansatta
Okay.
in Delhi. And I saw like, wow, I want that life,
Right.
You
You want to roam
access
around the world.
roam around the world. You have access to politician, to big players,
Yeah.
cricketers, film stars, and I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I called my dad. I said, look, I know what I want to do now.
Correct.
Let me do it. Then one day he invited me to a party. Went to Le Meridian, and I was like, wow, this is a five-star hotel.
Right.
So I went and meet a GM, and I was like, beautiful office. He is the guy
Yeah.
who is meeting everybody.
Yeah.
He is respected,
Okay.
well clothes,
Okay.
beautiful building. I'm like, no, I changed my
You
mind.
changed your mind. The respect brought you to hospitality.
Hospitality. And
Okay.
that's where I was like, okay, I need to become a hotel management. I have to do hotel management. I missed out the Pusa, entrance. I don't want to miss out the day. So I went back to Patna. I did my hotel management
Okay.
3 years. And I came to Delhi for a job after 3 years. I see in our industry, I didn't realize it the time when I went for looking for a job. You start from zero. It doesn't matter
How educated you are.
how educated you are. You have done your 3 years, 4 years of management.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You need to start from zero. Yeah, you might speed up because you're educated, but that's the life.
So with you saying starting from zero, you mean by going and cleaning utensils?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's right. You become a steward.
But hey, I'd just like to tell our viewers that don't be scared. It's just the beginning. We're definitely gonna see that how we went from becoming a dishwasher to now becoming a franchise manager and of course an entrepreneur as well. So
Yeah, no, absolutely.
go ahead,
And,
go ahead, Pankaj bhai.
So I used to roam around from each hotel, from Hyatt to Le Meridian, and looking for a job. One of my friend who called me in the morning, one of the morning, and said, in Taj, they are recruiting for Singapore, and he said like you should go there.
Okay.
So I decided
To take that opportunity.
take that opportunity. I walked into the Taj Hotel, and I was like shocked to see so many people, well educated, well groomed,
Right.
experienced, and I had no experience.
Right.
I walked in and I saw the entire setup, and I quietly walked out.
Correct.
I was like, I cannot get it. I'm
Yeah.
not able to get the job in Delhi.
Right.
How do I get this one? So when I walk out, I was waiting at the lift. An old lady was coming out, and she was struggling. She had a lot of books, bags. So I asked her, "Can I help?" She said, "Oh yeah, please." She gave me some stuff. I walked behind to her room, and she took her wallet out and trying to tip me.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No,
It's
I
okay.
don't need a tip.
Yeah.
It's okay. I just helped you." She said, "Working here?" I said, "No." And I was wearing, black and white. So
Correct.
she thought
You wearing clothes like
clothes-
a worker in the
workers in the
Okay,
hotel.
Okay.
So I said, no. So what are you doing? I'm really sorry that I made you carry. I said, no, I just helped you. It was a requirement, right? So she said, why you came here? What are you doing? I said, I came for an interview. She said, what happened? I said, I don't think I'm going to get through. I was like, no, you can't give up.
Yeah.
She forced me to go inside the banquet hall. So I wrote an exam, fill out the form, and I waited till 5:30 in the evening.
Okay.
When I walked in to, interview room, she was there.
Oh, she was the one.
She was the one.
Okay.
So she was. I saw her, and I was like so happy to see the same face. So my anxiety is gone.
Gone.
And I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And she was like, "You coming?" I
Right.
said, "Yeah, I'm coming."
Right.
And that's how I got the job.
Yeah. So
Awkward.
this is like a you do good karma
Yep.
and it
I
comes
believe
right back to you.
100%.
Amazing, amazing. So if you didn't help that lady,
Yeah.
that unknown lady,
Yeah.
you would have never been to this position today.
100%.
Amazing. So fast forward to today, Pankaj bhai, what are you? And we'll definitely go back to your struggling life and what you've done in the past. But today, what are we doing today, Pankaj bhai? What?
Today, my goal, right, in that process when I was telling you that, when I was looking for a job in Delhi, I did one more thing, which I walked into the McDonald corporate office. I said, look, I need to take a franchise. I cannot be a worker. I need to be a business owner.
Right.
And the gentleman, he was so good. He took me in, he offered me a coffee, and I sat down and he was like, "How you doing?"
Right.
I was so amazed.
Right.
And he gave me an application form,
Right.
right? He thought I'm mistaken and I'm
For
asking
a job.
for a job. And he's like, I said, "This is application form." I need a franchise. Then he started talking to me about the franchising.
Okay.
And then he said, the investment to open a McDonald's is almost what number he gave me is 5 crores. at one
Which was
time,
back in the day.
back in the days.
Okay.
And I was quite you know, took the step back and I was like, wow, to flipping a burger, putting inside the bun. Why the hell you need so much money?
Correct.
Why can't I open for 50,000?
Right.
Right? So that is stuck. And that was constantly in my career. I was working to identify a model or something which can be, created an opportunity for somebody who doesn't have $1 million. Right? We all wants to become a business owner.
Right.
I don't need to have $1 million. If I have $1 million, why the hell I'm gonna
Open a McDonald's.
McDonald's? Or
Correct.
I would, I'm gonna think about a business.
You would have
I have a
probably
money,
made
right?
made a coal mine out of $1 million.
So that was there, and I constantly working towards that goal. And when I came to US, and I was constantly connected with the franchise, either working for franchisee, franchisor, training, quality, one of those departments. I was linked every time, either working at Subway, looking after 20, 30 locations in
Right.
one locations in London. So it was there. So I knew that, okay, working with a franchisor or creating something in that scenario. And when I got an opportunity to become a franchise manager with Rajburg
Okay.
in Jersey City, I took the opportunity. It was a direct role.
Okay.
Thanks to Sachin and Sanjeev who trusted me to do the job. And from there, I start getting into more deeper and deeper, taking a certifications or doing a boot camp and getting into university and getting a franchise certification course.
Right.
All I start putting it up. So I want to be the best, or I want to make sure that, okay, I'm
That your
respected.
knowledge does help
Knowledge,
everybody.
yes, everybody.
Correct. So
And-
let me slow down a little bit here, Pankaj bhai. And before we move forward, this word that you've dropped in, franchiser, franchisee, a franchise manager, for people that understand just the business part of it and not the technical part, can you just explain what exactly a franchise, the word franchise means, and
Yeah.
how it works?
Yeah, definitely. And the franchise is a beautiful way of speed up your growth. So today, if you want to start a concept or a restaurant, you look into in our community, you go to any of those Indian community area, you see a restaurant opens and close constantly is
Correct.
happening.
Yep.
Very few people who is there for 20, 30 years.
Right.
They are sustaining, surviving.
Right.
They are not maybe thriving, but nothing is happening around because you are not into the industry. You're from IT background or medical background.
Right.
You feel like I eat food 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you know the food,
Correct.
right? You know the business of the food. And people, they do mistake, they jump. So when you start jumping into the business, that means you're looking at 4 to 5 years of your life with zero income.
Being wasted.
Wasted, plus you need to invest. And you have to work. You
Right.
cannot be sit back.
Right.
You have to be in that process.
Right.
Then you will start seeing a money and growth.
Right.
So, but when you're taking a franchise, somebody has done that work. They have given their 5 to 10 years of life.
Okay.
They have developed the product and process in place.
Okay.
Now, because the company is based in California and opening in the store in New Jersey, so they can open, but that's going to be difficult for them to operate
Okay.
far away. It's something like being a boyfriend girlfriend and the girlfriend
Being in a
boyfriend,
long
2
distance.
different long distance. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Most of the time they break up.
Okay.
So here as well, that if you open a store, you're relying on manager who can walk away, you don't know what he's doing,
Right.
then your business doesn't sustain. So here you have a model, the company which has successfully proven all those basics. They have gone through everything else.
Okay.
Now they're looking for a partner in New
Okay.
Jersey, right? So you become a franchisee, you apply and you become a local franchisee.
Okay.
So you become Z and they are Zor, franchisor
A
and
franchisee.
franchisee. That's the
Okay.
relation. So there is a business joint venture basically. So you keep 95% of the sales.
Okay.
They keep your 5 to 7% of your sales as a
Okay.
royalty.
Okay.
Right? You do investment because you are local. Today, if you invest 500,000 to build an entire store, it's gonna stay with you,
Correct.
right? Like you walking into the apartment and you asking landlord, can you put the heater,
Right.
right? Because you're not asking him to put the table. Why? Because table you can fold and take away with you,
Correct.
but heater gonna stay.
Stay.
Centralized heating gonna stay, right? So you need to understand that something gonna stay that belongs to your investment.
Right.
So you invest, you build everything,
Correct.
and now you do not have to waste your 5 years.
Right.
From the day one, you have a good product, good process, and you start making money.
Basically, it's trusted by a group of people in a market which has already been established.
That's
Just
right.
coming to a new market does not really need to be a standalone, study the market,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then see if it works or not. Like the product is already tested.
Test it.
It just comes to a new market and it goes.
But same time, you need to understand a lot of franchisee, they think that buying franchisee, that doesn't mean the success.
Correct.
That you open a Dunkin' Donuts, you're going to run. No. I have seen McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks shutting down,
Okay.
right? It's all about the operator.
Okay.
You have a great product with you, right? You have a great certificate from IIT,
Okay.
or you are a doctor from AMS. It doesn't matter that you're going to be successful in life. You don't have a purpose.
Correct.
So you need as a franchisee to put your time and effort to make sure that it works. So it's a joint venture. You have to put your hard work as well.
But Pankaj bhai, like as you said before, right? I am a investment banker, or I am into IT, or I'm whatever I am into, like the industry, and this is my part time where I just want to do as a business. I don't want to give my 100% here. I want to probably, because I'm doing my 40 hours a day somewhere else. I want to just put maybe 20 hours into a franchise. Does that help to success in the franchisee, or still, like as you just said, I just want to buy a Dunkin' Donuts, it's a well-known name, every 10 miles there's a Dunkin' Donuts, everybody's making money, I don't have time to go there, I'll keep a employee there and maybe he'll take care of the everyday work.
100%. As you said, maybe. That's where the maybe is. That
Okay.
you find a right employee.
Okay.
Right? So always when you go for these kind of brand and you think that there's a passive income, there's nothing called passive income.
Okay.
Right? Even you buy a share market, constantly you're flipping and looking.
Right.
Right? It's not that you forgot about it.
Right.
You have to do something about it.
Right.
Right? Either you sign up for 5 location deal and then you hire a GM who gonna overlook, become your shadow towards the business.
Towards the business.
Who can report to you. And then you are doing what you are doing.
Right.
I always suggest and advise people who is like doing a full-time job and getting into the franchising and saying, I'm going to leave the job. I said, no,
Correct.
I will never suggest. I have done that mistake
Right.
in past when I was in England.
Right.
I wanted to open a cafe and I left the job and I jumped. And I was dreaming like any other person. I'm going to open the door. I will have a long queue. I'm going to make money.
A lot of money,
Yeah,
every day
and
$1 million sale.
$1 sales and all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
But when I started, my wife was telling me not to open, but I was, sometime you go crazy.
Yeah, of course.
And I did it. And she said, look, I respect your decision, but I need money to run the house.
Correct.
And I was like, don't worry. I thought I'm going to be 1 month, I see break even.
Right.
Second month, I said, I'm going to make it. Break even. Third month, break even. I was
Okay.
like, gosh, I'm not making money.
Money. Okay.
I'm losing my salary.
Right.
Now pressure. So I have
Usually
no
losing your
choice.
time.
And then I was under the pressure that I went to casino and I used to work in the night shift 10 to 3
Okay.
to earn that money what my wife wanted to run the home.
Okay.
And then I
So
used
you had to actually do a night shift, a double
yeah,
job.
yes,
So is it safe to say that, even though you have the time, you have the money, if you don't have the knowledge, if you think that just joining into a big name franchisee will make you money and you don't have to do anything, that's not the case here.
that's not the
You
case.
have to dedicate your time, your energy to
Yes,
build that business up.
yes. I mean, it's a very
Amazing.
simple theory. If you want to eat pizza, you have to bake it.
Right.
You're going to take 6 minutes to come out.
Right.
You cannot come out in 2 minutes.
Right.
All right, 2 minutes you want, and somebody else is baking for you, and they will give it to you in 2 minutes.
Right.
They will charge you more, you pay more,
Yeah.
right? But that's all has a cost.
Yeah.
Or if you want,
Or
to
it's not fresh, it's just
Yeah.
kept on the side
That's
and you
right.
just heat it up and give it
heat
back
it
to
and
you.
give it to you.
Okay. Pankaj bhai, bringing back to your life journey, right? And the reason I'd like to bring it back because your experience, whatever you're sharing here, would only make sense from knowing what you've done in your past. I had stopped you at a point where we were going into Singapore life,
Yeah.
right? Let's jump straight into how you got to Singapore and what you did there, and how you made it to America. Like, what is the journey from Singapore to America?
Yeah, so we went to Singapore for a job. I was working for a Pizza Hut, and I was a crew member. So for me, doing a dishes in Singapore and then in India is better to do in
Better
Singapore.
to Singapore, correct. At least you have more respect there.
You have more money.
Right.
So I was doing the job, and I had a couple of my friends who, from Delhi and Bombay, they were thinking that okay, they are little higher end, educated. They became supervisor. They had a lot of experience, but they were not doing the job, day-to-day job. They used to go and smoke outside, and
Right.
they asked me, Pankaj, can you do inventory for me? Can you do? And I had no clue. But
yeah.
I was thinking that okay, this is an opportunity for me to learn.
Okay.
Speed up my learning process.
Okay.
Right. So I used to go and check, and and sometime realize that okay, these guys are having fun and I'm working so hard. So one day in the evening, while I was doing a checklist, for me, when you're doing a job, you do 100%. So it's not something that sitting and tick tick tick, all done, put it in the corner.
Right.
So I wanted to do it, so I went and I found a wallet in the toilet.
Okay.
Right. So I came
किसी
out.
का भी पैसा हो जाता अपने ही पॉकेट में.
So, I came out and I was like, big wallet. And it has, 110,000 US Singapore dollar,
Okay.
some credit cards and all that full. I was like, wow.
Right.
And we had a couple of friends and they were like, boss, pack up.
Let's go and
to
party.
India, and we can start a business. It's a lot of money.
Right.
For us to a crew member
Oh, really?
who earning a $250
Singapore dollars.
Singapore
Which
dollars,
is-
and
Which
and
is maybe a fraction of the amount that
that's
you found.
right. So, but for me, I was concerned that the person maybe a sleepless night. I don't know where he must be looking for money. So I was looking at the wallet. I found one number, one of his friends' number. I called and I say, look, I need this person's number. It's like, what is that? 11:30 in the night?
Right.
I was like, no, it's urgent.
Correct.
So he gave me the number. I got up the number and I called that number. I was so excited that, I was like, gosh. Then I picked up the phone. I said, hey, have you forgot something or lost something? That was
Right.
the first thought came to me.
Right.
The guy will be happy and he will jump from the bed. He was sleeping and he said,
Doesn't care.
kidding, in the midnight?
Right.
You idiot. And I was taking a step back. Oh, what the hell? The guy called after 5-10 minutes to the Pizza Hut and say, look, I am on the way. I'm coming.
Okay.
But I was upset. So I gave it wallet to my GM. He was from Sri Lanka, Salim. I said, Salim, when he comes, give it to him. I don't want to see his face.
Right.
I thought, I was excited. I was like a child. And the guy walked in and Salim gave it to him, the wallet. They said,
Right.
no, who found it? I want wallet back from his hand. So then Salim called me. Meanwhile, entire team and everybody was there around. It's a big stuff.
Right.
And my friends, they were thinking like, okay, maybe he will give you a good tips, $1,000, $2,000,
Right.
or maybe more. So he called a local bar. I said, look, don't close. We have
We're
40
gonna-
people are coming.
we're gonna come
have
for a party.
right? And the guy walked in and oh, he saw me and I was like, oh, you're Indian. You found the wallet. He asked me, do you know how much money inside? I was like, whatever, but it's yours.
Right.
And the guy said, thank you, and walk away. He didn't give me a tip. Everybody was so upset,
Okay.
right? But this gentleman, he wrote a beautiful letter to Pizza Hut
Pizza Hut.
International.
Okay.
And after some time, they organized a big party. They called me, and in that conference, basically they gave me a special award. Was like honesty award. They just created because they had no clue what
They had
to,
no clue, and they had
you
to
know,
because there's $1 million sitting right
sit-
there,
yeah,
and nobody took
somebody
it. Somebody gave it back.
give it back. So they gave me award, gave me some checks, gave me a golden spoon, and after a couple of days, it came into the newspaper on the top headings.
So how did all of this, like your good deed and Pizza Hut, giving you this award and everything, how did that help you?
Oh, big time! It helps me a big time that overnight I became a star.
Okay.
Right? People start bringing their kids and the family members, and I became like an attraction that okay,
Okay.
this is the guy who gave the money back.
But then did you
So-
from a dishwasher, did you become a manager?
yes,
How
I mean-
what was that journey?
That the Pizza Hut promoted me to assistant manager
Okay.
overnight from the bunkers gone to a studio apartment.
Right.
That change had
Your
happened
change life your life
Yeah.
changed overnight.
overnight.
So Pankaj bhai, we'll take a break here because we do have to do some technical stuff, and we'll continue this story from changing your life overnight to today here and how things help to the people here. So
Yeah,
we'll take a
will do.
break.
Perfect. Yeah.
So Pankaj bhai, like you were saying, listening to your stories so far, you did help a millionaire in Singapore. You did help a lady in India, and all of it was just random and out of your good faith. Um, looks like that you do believe in karma, and you do believe in giving to the community rather than doing selfish things for yourself. What are the principles in your life that you follow that would probably help somebody learn as well?
It's pretty simple life, right? If you look into our the religion which I follow is Hinduism, right? It has a basic fundamental. We all go through that process. That okay, why we born? What's the purpose? We are trying to figure out,
Right.
right? And then I had a chance to read Gita and understood that purpose of life is helping. Is nothing to do with yourself. And some people they help very close friend. Some people they're gonna help own kids, and the kid is helping the parents. So you are restricting your world, then opening it up for everybody. Sometimes people said, okay, as an immigrant, what do you think that you started a business or you're doing franchising? I never thought that way.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to travel, and I never wanted to become a tourist to go and see a New York, take a picture, and leave.
Right.
I always wanted to stay in the country,
Okay.
right? 6 months, 1 year, whatever duration, and I rent a house. I never stay in a hotel, so I don't believe on that. The tourist lifestyle.
Like the short life.
Short life. I want to be there. I want to enjoy the local food. I want to meet local people. Like back in India, you go to a tea stall, everybody's sitting around having a tea. You can start conversation with anybody,
Yeah.
right? You do not have to that he's my uncle, auntie,
Yeah.
and all. You just talk. You talk random.
In India, it is called nowadays that the tea stalls are actually offices for a lot of people.
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot of learning, a lot of wisdom. You
Yes.
get it from there.
Yes.
Either two way, you become a person who open a book and read it, which I'm not. And then second, learning in your life, you meeting, talking, traveling. And that's become my learning in university where, all of these kind of good deeds and people will respect you.
Right.
They open their arms to, welcome you.
Right. So being good, helps you being welcomed by other people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even you find a bad people, they're looking for a good people.
Right.
Bad employer
He's
who is
also
not
looking for a
paying
good employee.
good employees. You
He
know,
will
the
not
good.
ask for money.
No,
He
but
will always work,
work.
give hard work
Yeah, yeah.
and do good for the company.
Even as a guy, you may not be a good, but you're looking for a good girl. Or the
Right.
girl is not a good, they're looking for a good guy.
Right.
You know, everybody's looking for a good one,
Correct.
right? So you better be a good
A
one.
good person.
So you are in demand.
So being a good person, Pankaj bhai, how does like how from being an employee, a good employee, doing good karma, keeping like traveling around the world, when did you think of starting your own business? Like as you were saying that you started a cafe, first year break even, second year break even. Where exactly did you start your cafe? What was the thought behind it? And how much money did it take for you to start that first business?
Uh, it was not a lot of investment because you need to understand, look at any company in terms of Apple or terms of any company you take it in Narayan Murthy's or anywhere, they all start from garage,
Okay.
right? So all of us has an idea, but sometime idea is on cup of coffee and you forget about it. You know, the business person or success in life person who stick to the idea and constantly refining, and working.
Right.
For me, it's my idea, and I'm gonna write down my idea in my book somewhere, and I constantly reminding, okay, this is what you have to do.
Right.
And then you go back and do a little bit, 5%, 10%,
Right.
sometime, and suddenly sometime you realize, no, I have to do it.
Yeah, you reach that point of being at 80% of
Yeah,
noting down all the ideas theoretically, but it's time to
time to execute. Yeah.
execute it. So how did you execute? How did
So,
what where was the
well,
where was the point
it was
and where exactly?
I wanted to do the business, right? I always see the business is challenge and always been challenged, and my performance always I have seen where I get challenged.
Okay.
Right. So when I was after Pizza Hut, what happened that holding an Indian passport and traveling so many different countries is not that easy.
Not easy, of course.
It's always I used to get referred,
Right.
right? So you're working in a Pizza Hut, and I don't go and ask people to help me find me another job. I'm doing my job. You do your karma.
Correct.
That's the most important.
Correct.
Don't start crying, Just do your karma and things gonna happen to you.
Right.
And people who used to come and see and they refer second job, and you go to different country,
Right.
and somebody gonna refer to somebody else.
Well, for most of the people, it's not that easy of getting referred and going to a different country altogether. It sounds very exciting in your life that, being in Singapore, you got referred to a different country. What was that country?
So from there I moved to Brunei. Brunei is a small, tiny country
Okay.
between Malaysia and Singapore.
Okay.
And I got a call, right, in Pizza Hut from a lady. She said she's calling from Princess of Brunei, and I thought my friends they are pulling my leg because I became a star.
Yeah.
So they're just pulling my leg. I ignored it.
Right.
Then I got a call again next day, and what happened, Mr. Pankaj?
You've not responded.
Responded. I said what?
Yeah.
She said, Princess of Brunei, I would like to meet you.
Okay.
And then I thought, I was happy with it. I thought, are you serious?
Right.
She said, no, I'm serious. I'm sending you the car
Okay.
in 45 minutes, and the person will come and pick you up.
Pick you up.
And I was like, okay. So I went to my friend's room. I said, I don't have any proper clothes to wear. I borrowed, ironed my shirts, got ready.
Right.
And I see the BMW Sports Series came. The driver opened the door.
Right.
And all that was like a dream. I reached Brunei. The palace is massive. He was the richest person at that point of time.
Okay.
Sultan of Brunei.
Okay.
In 97.
Okay.
98. And I went to meet her, and she said, great job. And she said, from tomorrow, you're going to work for me.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, thank you.
That is
And,
exciting.
I said, I need to go and tell my previous company that I'm leaving.
Yeah, you
I
leaving?
need to give
Okay.
30 days notice.
Okay.
Secretary of Princess pulled me, and she said, no,
No.
that's it. You're going to come from tomorrow. I was like, what?
Okay.
So I went back, Mr. Liu, I went to office and said, leaving. And he was very upset
Mm-hmm.
because he brought from India, he promoted me and all of that. They said,
Correct.
look, it's not that I want to live. Princess wanted me to.
To come
Then
join
he
her.
started laughing. I said, we born, we
Mm-hmm.
don't know, we have not been to the palace, and
Mm-hmm.
you already been to the palace?
Mm-hmm.
I said, yes. And then he saw the car came to pick me up. He
So
let me go.
you had like roller skates in your legs where people can't even walk. You had
Yeah,
wheels on your legs.
I know.
That's-
And then while I was working with the princess, we
So what
invited.
did you do with the princess? What was your
Initially,
role?
yeah. So initially, I was kind of, just meeting her. I used to book all the five-star hotels around for her breakfast and lunch and dinner and doing all those kind of
So basically like
PR
a hospitality manager
hospitality
for the
manager for
princess.
princess. She had like 87 cars and all of that kind of stuff. I was
Mm-hmm.
driving all the luxury
Right.
car,
Mm-hmm.
and then I told princess that I want to work. She
Right.
said, what do you want to do? I'm giving you money.
Right.
Everything is there. I said, no, I need work.
Work.
So she said, okay, I'm going to open a restaurant for you.
Okay.
So she opened A&W franchise there,
Mm-hmm.
and I start working uh, in a restaurant, and I'm working with her. Then she was very fond of Bollywood,
Okay.
so I invited for lunch like Saruk Khan, Ritik, Neelam, Susmita. So they used to. I started building. So they used to come.
Mm-hmm.
1 year, we invited Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson for their birthday parties.
Okay.
So life was is great and amazing at that point of time with them, and I was traveling around and doing my training, like going to Hong Kong, going to Malaysia with the NW, another head office, and then Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia. Then I decided like, okay, this region is completed. I need to go
Move on.
somewhere else.
Okay.
Then I went to Australia, and I was there for 6 months in Perth. Then from there, you felt like, okay, India is booming. I want to go
Mm-hmm.
back. I went back to India.
Okay.
Then I realized like, okay, very difficult to work in India at that point of time. Then I went to Dubai and UAE, that region,
Mm-hmm.
Abu Dhabi and all. So Sharjah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi are the reasons. I was working, developing a company there, working as a marketing and business development. In between, I went back to India again because Reliance, they were looking for people.
Okay.
So they hired 12 people basically to launch a cafe concept. And we were there, we from the scratch. So that the things which happened to me, it was amazing.
If I may ask, what was that name?
Java Green,
Okay.
yeah.
Which
So
should
Dev
be
World and Java
should be
Green.
known by a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, and that was the amazing experience where I was a part of 12 top-notch people in India
Okay.
who was developing the concept for Reliance from the scratch.
Scratch.
Right? So every single thing.
So probably you are one of the first ones in India to bring the cafe culture, the
That
coffee,
point of
sip
time,
on coffee, go on dates culture in
yeah,
India.
that's
Amazing,
that was
amazing.
amazing, and it was a learning for me because you are every single day you're sitting with those top people,
Right.
learning every single department.
Mm-hmm.
How to launch a company, and that's helped me for my next step,
Okay.
right? So now I was kind of getting ready and prepared. So
So prepared for the what? What was
Prepare
that big game that you were preparing for?
preparing for launching our own company.
Okay.
Right?
Which was
So that point of time when I went to England, and that also happened through the reference,
okay.
right? While I was there in India, somebody called me. He said you should meet
This
uh,
person.
Janice. She's in Goa.
Okay.
She came from England. She was the HR manager for Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
She called me up, said, I heard about you. I want to meet you before I fly off.
Okay.
I met her in Bombay, all deal done.
Right.
And then I
And you fly
went
to London?
London.
Okay. And
Yeah.
now story in London. What did you do there, sir?
I was working for airports,
Okay.
right? So my job, basically I took a step down just to grow back, right? So the beauty in England was equal opportunity where you grow back to where you were
Right.
based on your quality, your
Right.
experience,
Right.
and work. and I start working. I used to work for Leeds Airport, Birmingham, Manchester, London, going around Burger King, Gates's other brand, and I was constantly growing and I was enjoying it. And the moment I got my PR in England,
Okay.
that's the day when I left and I started my business.
Okay.
So I couldn't,
You just
I
you
was
were
like
just waiting, waiting. Like a
yeah,
lot of people in the US are also just waiting to
yeah,
get that one paper
that's
so that
it.
they can just start their own business.
Own business because you don't want to invest and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Right. So is it safe to say that business is not always a cup of tea that you should go and sip when it's hot,
Yeah, no, you
right?
need to get ready. The business, you're always going to find a business person. They are not somebody who is going and standing in the queue and buying an iPhone 17. They don't do that.
Correct.
Those people are different kind of person. The business people gonna find the right time to buy a right product and right pricing,
Right.
and then that's how they do it. They
Correct.
launch a right business. Otherwise, a lot of people they jump and open the store and close the store.
Right.
They don't realize it. They don't see through the entire journey
Right.
of the business.
So tell me this: starting from a dishwasher, um, becoming the head manager for Pizza Hut,
Yeah,
then chilling your life with the Queen,
yeah.
then flying in the air in London. How did you end up in the US?
So when I was working in London with Subway, and I was operation head, and opportunity came, right? One of the business was about to close down in London. They hired me. They were like, okay, and I always take the challenge. That excites me. I know it's not a safe journey. I don't believe in the safe journey,
Safe, yeah.
right? It's I believe in whatever has to happen will happen.
Risk hai to ishq hai.
Yeah. I remember in Dubai, I was sitting in the meeting
Right.
and I decided to leave the job. I wrote a resignation and hand over it to my MD. Thank you. I'm leaving. I cannot do this anymore.
You've been like the most wanted employee for every company, but not the most wanted leaving person. You know, usually companies want 2 week, 3 week notice. You like,
Yeah, no, I don't.
I'm
No,
leaving tomorrow.
I'm leaving. If I have decided, I have decided. I don't want to waste your time for 3 weeks. Sometime they will say, okay, I'm going to cut down your salary, whatever you're going to do, just do it.
Right.
Because it's not good for me, not good for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste going there and you don't happy seeing me and, what information I'm going to take and what going to do, what not to do.
Right.
It's like better just cut the
Right.
deal and be happy.
So how did you end up as a franchise manager? What interested you in the franchise business? What interests you to help people to understand how franchising work?
I was on constantly like any Pizza Hut, NW, or O'Brien's, or either Burger King, Ritaza, every company where I work, everybody was into the franchising, right? So either I was dealing with the franchise department directly, or either I became like Subway when I was there as a part of the Zor team and meeting everybody else and seeing a life. And I enjoy mentoring, right? So I always have a mentor in my life.
Right.
So I never feel ashamed that I can pick up phone and call you and say, hey, Suraj, this is I have to do.
Right.
It's up to you. You're going to answer or you're going to say, boss, yes, no, or you said you don't answer. That's your end.
Correct.
I never think what you going to think or what world going to think. I cannot read everybody's mind.
Right.
I don't have that ability.
Right.
I don't have that superpower.
All you can do is just
Yeah.
spread your knowledge.
That's it. So I'm gonna call. So I used to call as to Guruji. He's in right now in New Zealand. Somebody is here everywhere. So I always find a mentor. You're always gonna find in that crowd where you're working, 1 or 2 person who likes you, and a couple of people hates you.
Right.
It's a normal. So you don't try impress the people who hates you to like you. That's a difficult part.
Right.
So I don't do that.
Okay.
I go to the person who likes me,
Likes you. Correct.
right? So that way, the person is giving me a space and respect. I should give space and respect to that person first.
Okay.
Then somebody who hates me,
Okay.
and I'm trying to please that person.
So is it safe to say that the company that you just mentioned, right, where you work right now, they were the ones who felt like were the good people
Yeah.
to work with you, and you wanted to work with them,
It
and
was a good journey when I came and met you. Founder of Rajburg is Ajit Modi. If you meet him, he is down to earth. One of the best person you can meet.
right?
He's a rich person,
Yeah.
but no way you can somebody. He will talk to you as friend, and he's the glue, right?
Why is all the Modis always the good people in this country and across the world?
I know they know how to run the
How
business
to run
most
the
well.
business, right? How to run the business
And
and
public
run the
relation,
country.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
public
plus
relation is the
public
most important,
relation,
and talking
and
is the most
talking.
important. Pankaj bhai, tell me, to keeping this a little more crispy, tell me, how many franchisees or like how many brands have you worked with as a franchise manager?
Oh, I don't really count that, but currently, if somebody is require help in any industry, like my company is called DNA Franchise Pro,
Okay.
right? So if somebody goes on the website, they will able to see it, or they can call me. My job is to free consultancy,
Okay.
right? I can help and guide you through the process to choosing a right franchise. Sometime I was talking to you and I was telling you that sometime you realize that okay, the food is easy, but is you don't realize that you don't have that skill, right? You're gonna find out of your friends one guy who can pick up products and cook it, and you're gonna be right,
Right.
right? Sometimes you're trying to make omelette, you're gonna burn.
Of course.
You don't have that skill. So it's better to accept that okay, I don't have that skill. So let me find the good business person is the find the right skill and put it in. Like look at the Bill Gates. He was not the genius, but he found genius.
Genius.
That's where
He had the
became a
money,
genius. He had the
and
money,
he found the technology.
technology,
Yeah.
and he found the right people. He went to India from IIT, picked up those people,
Right.
brought it, who built his company.
Okay.
So you need to become a person, right? You maybe do not have a skill, but you can find a skill.
Right.
If you can't paint home, that's fine. You find somebody who can do it for you,
Correct.
right? You don't have to go crazy and destroy the home.
Right.
So
So how many brands are you working with right now?
600,
600 brands or stores?
600 brands.
600 brands. Can you name a few very successful ones?
There's a lot of very successful, which I like one, which for us we is like Bio One, right?
Okay.
That's a company uh, does basically all the medical waste, right? And just imagine, it's very fascinating for me. I would like to take the franchise,
Yeah.
So what they do, just imagine that crime scene cleaning. How many companies are doing it? Very few.
Crime scene cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's something which, you know that you're gonna make money out of it because police gonna call you up and to come and do that, and everything has to be done right. There are company which is lawn cleaning or swimming pool cleaning, right? I met a gentleman. He does a toilet cleaning, but he's a franchisee
Okay.
of the company. He run from the garage, and he has a few people who's working under him.
Okay.
Chemicals are cheaper. Use it in your garage as a storage. Every morning people are coming to his home,
Right.
pick up what they need. He print out the routes and give it to him. The person goes around 12 homes, 12
Right.
offices, clean
Right.
and go home.
Right.
1.4 million, right?
So one
it's
person doing 1.4 million, right?
millions.
But slowing it down a little bit, like, this number looks very fascinating and exciting for a lot of viewers.
I know.
Making 1.4 million for just one person. Everybody would go and do lawn cleaning and bathroom cleaning, right? But let's just slow it down. To start a franchise, and we've gone through this, right? That it's not easy. You need to put your hard effort, your time. Of course, money is the first thing. So talking about the money, let's say today I am in the US and I am very successful. I have been working as an employee for past 15 years, 20 years. I've done enough savings, but not as enough that would make me a millionaire.
Yeah.
But I want to also explore the business or entrepreneurial journey as well. How much money is required to start a franchise? And
So,
what kind of franchise should I go into? Should I go into food industry, or as you just mentioned that nowadays there are lawn cleaning, lawn mowing, even they are starting their franchise.
yeah,
So
yeah, everybody. Yeah.
how is it to pick the right franchise, and how much money minimum is required?
Okay, so the investment requirement, it could start from as low as 25,000 and it goes to 1.5 million,
Okay.
couple of millions,
Okay.
right? It's depend upon what kind of business. There are opportunity after COVID, which you can do it from home.
Okay.
A lot of things which is virtual, a lot of things, payroll, the bookkeeping, those kind of stuff, which easily done. Like there are franchisee which is for holiday booking, right? If you take it for a lower investment, I always advise somebody that okay, you take it a small baby step towards the business, right? You start, and slowly, gradually, what's gonna happen? Your mindset gonna change. It's all about the mindset. You are this side or that side,
Right.
right? So now a step to cross and understand the business side of it. Working 9 to 5, yes, pays your bill, and that's what's gonna happen. Rest of your life, you
Right.
pay the bill.
Right.
Now it's time for you to take the decision where you cross, where you're not paying the bill, you're paying somebody else's bill,
Right.
right?
You're paying salaries.
Salaries, you're making changes. So it's a matter of like if you have that kind of quality, you should do that. And in today's world, if you are a good citizen, you have a good credit score, I can connect you with a lot of lenders.
So let's
who
say if you
can-
have to connect me to a lot of lenders,
Yes.
right? And I have 25,000 today.
Yeah.
What are a few brand names that you would suggest me getting into, which would guarantee me in 1 year, not just break even, but at least a little more than the break even? Which are the
So for you to start, right, we are looking at like a 25,000 investment. So what happened when we go into the lending? Lenders give you money for a franchise concept because the concept is already proven.
Okay.
It's working, they have a business plan, they have education, they have everything in line. So that's become that okay, your investment is gonna be 10 to 20% towards the investment. That means you're looking at 250,000 up to 250,000. You can take those franchisee.
Okay.
Lender will give you the money, and you slowly, gradually, you pay back, and you make money out of it.
Okay.
Right? You do not have to have 25,000 just the business cost.
Right.
Right? That's one way of looking at it.
Okay.
Or we have a couple of businesses which could be virtual teaching for kids, math, like Kumon, those kind of businesses, which doesn't require a lot of investment. And there are business which teach robotic, right? So they will help you to train you, or you hire somebody,
Right.
a manager who can run a business for you, connect you through the local schools where the kids are staying from 3 to 5 while the parents are working after school events, and you have those classes, and you will able to earn money
Okay.
for very low
So
investment.
staying home, you can just do everything online with
Online.
just a brand name.
Yeah.
Pankaj bhai, before as we get closer to our podcasting journey today, what are the top 3 brands that you are working with right now, which you would recommend the viewers if they are interested in doing podcast? They'd like to reach out to you because, of course, they've learned the knowledge of podcasting from you. Which would be the top 3 brands that you would recommend, be it in food industry or not? It's your choice. Which is the top 3 brands that you would recommend?
I wouldn't say a brand, right? I would say people has to look into the 3 different industries. We're gonna go for 3 different industry or top 5 industry where, for us being an Asian Indian, education is number 1.
Okay.
It's never gonna die. We always move our homes and houses to the education or zip code where is a better quality education in schools. Anything to do with the kids. The kids.
Give me a
schooling.
name that you would work with. that you are currently working as a
It's
franchising
like
manager?
I have Wise, I have Math, I have all of these kind of late night schools.
Okay.
These are the brands, right? So now the second will gonna be most important is anti-aging. Now, anti-aging is big in today's market. So now all of us, which is 40 plus, now as we are growing, we need to look better. Now
Right.
we naturally you start losing your hair, you start losing your strength,
Right.
start losing everything else. And now it's time for you because you have money to get into, right? And then third, which is another big one, is beauty. Now, the beauty is never going to die. It
Right.
constantly revamping and creating a new market in regards to getting into organic or natural and those kind of stuff.
Right. So study, education,
Education, anti-aging,
beauty,
you know,
and of course cosmetics.
cosmetics, these are the top brands, and definitely healthy food,
Right.
right? So I mean, the entire lifestyle is changing. I see my son has stopped eating processed meat, and he wants to have a healthy food, which, I never learned
Right.
in
How
that
to do the
process.
healthy,
Oh,
how to be
pivot
healthy in life.
healthy
We are learning
lifestyle,
from the newer generation right
newer
now.
generation. Yeah.
And with that, Pankaj bhai, you mentioned in middle of the podcast that you have written a book.
Yes.
Can you just mention the name of the book if somebody wants to go in detail of how franchising work? What is the book about, and what people would learn from that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I always passionated, and I was doing a podcast with Tony Harris Tiller, and while in the podcast, he was like, "Pankaj, I would like to incorporate your story in the book," and I was like, "How does that gonna help you?" So he said, "Okay, let's plan." So there was a 12 writers came on board, and everybody has their own chapter,
Okay.
where I had my own chapter.
Okay.
And it's like a dream come true. We launched the Road to Entrepreneur. Why? Everybody has a why.
Okay.
And everybody needs to find their why.
Okay.
Right? And when book was launched, it became number one in Amazon.
Okay. So
So
what is the
it
name of the book?
Road to Entrepreneur.
Road to Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anybody wants to,
Yeah, you can send. I can send you the link. You can put it
okay,
in
I'll put it in the
bottom,
description.
description, so you
Definitely.
can.
And what is your chapter called again?
It's all about my why.
All about the why you want to
Why?
be an
Why?
entrepreneur, why you want to
Yeah.
start a business,
Yeah.
why the dash you want to be a franchisee. So for that, before we end the podcast, Pankaj bhai, it was wonderful having you here. One last message that you would like to give all the upcoming entrepreneurs and all the businessmen that are probably there in the market, or if they just want to start a new business. One last message, short and crisp, if you would like to give it to all the audience.
Definitely, I would like to reach out to all your viewers that, I'm happy and available to help our community in terms of helping in building the business. And I am, the whole idea for me that I would like to help somebody who doesn't have $1 million in the pocket. Please reach out to me through my Instagram or LinkedIn or through the Suraj, and I will happy to help you and guide you through.
Right. So all the links, of course, Pankaj Kumar's contact number, the link to his business website, the book, and Instagram and phone number will be definitely linked to the description. You guys can definitely go check it out. If you are still interested in opening your own franchisee or a business, you're not sure what you want to get into, of course, you can definitely reach out to Pankaj Kumar. Once again, if you've learned anything from this podcast, if you've learned how to open a business, or from his experience, what you should do or what you should not do. And of course, karma plays a big role in becoming a businessman. It's not just about, stepping stones. It's also bringing people together and staying happy. So with that, this is the end of this amazing podcast episode. And keep watching our channel. This is Ambitalk with Suraj Mehta. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you at the next one.